Where you're going, you can find out in your senses are. Your true thirst.
Good morning,
Are you
world.
going to read those bits?
It's a nice, cool, calm, cosy morning. Poppy hasn't been out for her walk yet, but she doesn't seem to mind. Story brought the Weird World of Ghosts book in this morning, and this is actually a book that one of our good friends wrote themselves. I'm really proud of him actually. So we actually went to stay in Yorkshire with this guy. We're getting ready to go, aren't we, Story? Okay, it's time to feed the chicken, Story.
Yeah, do you want to? Should we? They used to have 12 chickens, but then we think a fox got in.
Oh no!
And then it was like the big chicken massacre of 2018. So.
Feathers and blood everywhere.
Yeah, these are the other ones: blood and feathers and misery. Oh, she's got it. She's on it. Look, if you're feeling really bred, you can do that. But I'm not bred. You gonna give them some more? That's it.
Whoa! Thank you, sir.
£5.
Run! So some of you guys might know that we actually wrote a children's book ourselves once, so we know how hard it is to self-publish. So when Mike told us that he'd written a book and he wanted us to see how Story reacted to it, we of course said, yeah, to see what you've got. And really impressed with it. It's a super good book.
The house of neighbourhood.
The attention to detail is really funny. You can see in the background of all of the illustrations just a lot of English humour, which is quite hard to appreciate sometimes, but because they're little nuances from our past, and it's a good little detail, and we can really appreciate the work and the depth that has gone into making it.
You can get ghost animals
Really?
in this book. It tells you.
I don't think I saw this page yet.
Guest.
Oh, Pandageist.
What? Pangeist.
Yeah.
The kangaroo. That's my favourite one.
That's quite
And
funny.
the band sheep. The bear witch.
Yeah.
Like this ghost shark.
So, it's a fun fact. So.
Fun fact. Nearly all ghosts can be seen with the naked eye, but not all ghost carp. Ghost carp are very special fishy phantoms, and that's because they are totally invisible. Don't believe me? Just take a look at these great please.
Great examples, that says.
Examples. Truly beautiful.
There's loads of facts.
You can read this one fact.
Okay, that's really cool. So when our friend Mike told us that he'd written a book, he said that he was inspired to get it written when he went for a coffee with us about 4 years ago with Story. So I just went back into our daily vlog library and I had a look at when we went to see them in the Yorkshire Dales, and Story was only a little 2-year-old, and now look how big you are, how long. You're 6 years old, you've got a tooth missing, one of your big teeth. Ta-da!
I barely touched it and it literally just flew out.
I know, I caught it on video, didn't I?
Yeah.
And also, Eden the dog was in that video, and now we've got the Popster. So lots has changed since that time. 4 years can make a huge difference, but in that time, this was the product of that inspiration. So it's really nice that we've got those memories to watch back. Wish you could have met Eden, Poppy. Oh, you would have got on. You would have been friends. So Mike actually sent us this copy of his book as a gift because we know him, of course. But if any of you guys love reading books, or you're buying books for your children and you want to support an independent author, there is actually a link in the description below to the Amazon store where you can buy it from.
I really love it.
Yeah, and it's really funny.
It's one of those books that gets better each time you read it because there's lots of little like joke bits put throughout the book. So some of them you might miss the first time around you're reading it. When I read it to Story last night and this morning, she brought it in that we read half last night and half this morning. And I saw more things like just little bits that he's hidden throughout
Yeah.
the book is really fun.
In the illustrations and in the
Yeah.
background. And the fun facts, I actually missed the fun facts last time because I
Yeah.
was just reading the core story.
Yeah, it's really good, and I'm actually going to order my niece, 2 of my nieces, I think, the
Yeah.
book, because I think they will really enjoy it as well.
Why have you come and sat on my lap? What are you doing here? Poppy's one of those dogs who just loves to get involved in stuff. As soon as you start talking or doing something, she'll come and get right in your face, and it's cute because it shows that she cares about us. So I mentioned briefly that we actually wrote our own children's book a while back. Where is it now? It's in here somewhere. Here, found it. So when we were living in Portugal, Sacha was sitting under the apple tree in the garden and she was inspired to write. And so she wrote down a little note and started beginning this story, Fly Free Little Bird. And then we got our friend Gillian to do the illustrations, and I put it all together using whatever digital skills I had at the time to make the drawings more suitable for a book. And then we had it self-published, and it was really tricky to do, really expensive to do, and really hard to promote. So we know what it's like to make a book like this. Story really loved this book though. It was worth doing, even if it's just for the memory alone. How many people can say they wrote their own children's book for their own child, eh? It's nice. I'm still proud of that, even though we didn't sell any really, but
I know, I do think still that I consider like revisiting it and going back and doing it again, making it a little bit better. I've got ideas for other children's books and I just haven't done it. I think that experience has put me off.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, is it worth it? Shall I bother? But I'd like to, but it's just the process to actually get a book from your mind to what someone can actually read. It's a massive process.
It might be different now because it's been like 5 years, 4 years since we tried doing
I'm
it.
glad
but
I've done it. It's, even if it just printed just for story, you know,
Yeah.
it was just like a little poem that came into my head when I was sitting in the pretty little garden in Portugal. And so yeah, I wrote it for story, and she appreciates it now. And she often chooses it as her bedtime book, so that makes me happy, and that's enough.
that is enough.
Yeah.
I think it's time for your walk, Poppy. What do you think? Wow, how much life has changed since we made that video in Yorkshire, looking at land and looking at houses and rentals and thinking about what we should do, whether we should move back to England, whether we should be buying property in that part of the countryside. And now here we are 4 years later thinking about buying land in the Philippines on this little island, walking our little street dog that became our beloved pet. It's crazy how life is, very crazy. Go on, release that pop star. Hey dogs, how's your morning? You okay, Brownie? How are you? You good? Yeah? Hello, Siargao. Hello, Siargao. Look at you with your fluffy tail. You're looking chunky. Poppy's always the most playful one. She just wants to jump on the other dogs' backs. You guys are doing some spear fishing. I wonder what they're trying to catch. That guy's just got his face right in the water with his goggles on, looking for something. I wouldn't have thought you could spearfish much in this shallow water. So when we made that video looking at possibly living in Yorkshire, it was an area called Kirkby Lonsdale, very beautiful, and we were looking at the schools, we were looking at the rental prices, and that land that we mentioned was £425,000, which in Philippines money is 28 million pesos. So I was just trying to compare, like, what would you get on this island for 28 million? And to be honest, like, prices are comparable in places, aren't they? Especially around the General Luna area. It's not that cheap here in the Philippines. And well, at least here on this island, we have seen land for sale in like Siargao city area, some places of Mindanao, which are like dirt cheap, but you're not surrounded by what you have here on this island. So there's obviously that to weigh up if you're talking about moving your entire life somewhere abroad. But it is interesting to make those kind of comparisons. Yeah, I don't even bother trying to run after her now. I know I can't catch her. Whoa, you rocket! You rocket! Yeah.
Sit, puppy, sit. Puppy, sit.
Oh, the training trick's
Sit.
going to work.
Good girl.
Recall training is a constant battle. Oh, you got too excited, Poppy. Now you dropped your treat. Right in the sand.
Sandy. Here, have a chocolate. Sit. Puppy, sit.
Good girl. How's that, yum? Like that? Oh, oh, hello. Oh, you smelt the food, didn't you? Siargao knows the deal. Oh, Poppy's gone mad. She's gone mad. Dog whisperer here.
One for you. They all love these treats.
Yeah. Poppy just took her one and ran home, didn't she? She didn't eat it. We had a lot of strong wind last night. Every time we have the strong wind, all the bottles fall down. It's always a little bit freaky for us after having gone through the typhoon here. I've gotten used to seeing the land with less trees now, even though their leaves have sprouted out and it looks a lot healthier. And of course everything's been repaired and we've got the new windows and whatnot. Looking back at our old videos, we are always reminded of how things used to be, and that's kind of another advantage of our daily vlogs. We can remind ourselves of things that would have just got completely forgotten to time. And this too will become a memory one day, you know, our life here. And, you know, when we eventually build our own place, all of this will be a memory, but a really, really good one. Never forget the time that we spent in this beautiful place. Of course, anything we do is going to take at least a year moving forward. We haven't got any immediate plans to move out of this house just yet. We will be here for a while. So this memory will last some time longer. So for now, from Story's messy room, I have been drawing up some plans for an upgrade. So I used Story's iPad and her little pencil to draw this on a picture last night, which I think would make an amazing upgrade for Story. So the idea is to turn it into not a bunk bed, but like a kind of office bed. So she has her work desk underneath, she can do her crafting and sleep up there, because there's a lot of ceiling space in this room that is unused. So if we can lift this bed up, and so our Ate Mary Jane has organised for a carpenter to come and have a look. If we can find the money, we might invest in a split type air conditioner, one of the quieter, newer ones, and remove the window type ones. These ones, they're very noisy, and then it would cool down the room better, especially with the bed higher where it gets hotter. It would be nice for that, I reckon, but again, it's budget dependent.
Hi, I'm going to show you what I got for my tooth.
Yeah? Go for it.
I have a raccoon pet.
Whoa.
And also some money, 100. And it stayed there under my pillow, just like that.
It's very cute. Were you
Like
sleeping
that.
on top of it?
No.
You weren't? You must have had your head on it at some point.
And then guess what?
What?
This went boing on the side of my bed.
Yeah, in your little...
Mine.
Poppy wants your money. She's going to steal your money. Can I ask, how does it feel to have a tooth missing on the top?
Great, but it also feels like what it's been stuck on, as you can see, is that tiny bump there.
Oh.
Like a tiny lip bit there.
Oh, well, there's still a bit that didn't come out.
That was what it was just stuck on, and it went boom.
Yeah, because it took about a month to come out, didn't it, that
Yeah.
one?
How did it feel eating your breakfast?
It felt good.
Yeah?
Because breakfast is soft, and I kind of have hard stuff for lunch.
Yeah, we can try it out later. And maybe you can put a straw through your teeth and have a smoothie. Yeah?
Poppy. And the name is Rhea Bandit.
Rhea Bandit. Oh,
Look,
that's very
I
cute.
just call her Rhea, and then the real name is Bandit, so I said Rhea Bandit.
That's a lovely name.
Look, there's the name.
Ta-da!
Bandit.
So, we're going to go ahead and end the video, aren't we?
Yeah. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed this daily vlog, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.